Hey guys, it's Hoops Convo, and today we're going to be talking about the Sacramento Kings and why I believe they're on the come up. This is a franchise that had their best days during the late 90s all the way to the mid 2000s. Since 2007, they haven't made the playoffs, a 16-year drought, the longest in NBA history. They just haven't been able to build anything consistently. Now let's talk about De'Aaron Fox, a guy who I think is the most underrated point guard in the entire league, and I really believe that. He's someone that can get you 23 points, 7 assists on a nightly basis. His talent doesn't get recognized enough because he's on a bad team. We've seen this recently with guys like Devin Booker and Zach LaVine. Once their team started winning, they got way more love. The same will happen to Fox once the Kings turn it around. I know the Kings got a lot of hate for trading Halliburton for Sabonis at the deadline, but I feel like that trade worked out for both teams, and I'll explain why. The Pacers got a young point guard to build around, and the Kings get a more proven player that fits better with Fox. That move was entirely about giving the keys to Fox, and in my opinion, they made the right decision. You never want to judge off small sample sizes, but Fox looked like a different player after the trade deadline, which is something that went under the radar last season. Now let's talk about their roster. Their key additions have been Kevin Huerter, Malik Monk, and their surprising rookie Keegan Murray.
Great execution.
And the steal. They can tie it with a three. Murray, yes! A Murray miracle in the desert.
It's a very solid roster. You obviously have Fox, Sabonis, Barnes, Metu, Terrence Davis, Lyles, Holmes, Mitchell, Huerter, obviously we talked about, Keon Ellis, Kada. From 1 to 10, it's pretty promising. Oh, and they hired Mike Brown, who has almost 3 decades of experience. I think what the Kings need to do now is focus and build towards winning. That's what will get this franchise back on track. It's kind of like what the Suns experienced 2 to 3 seasons ago. In 2019, they were really bad, but if you remember that offseason, they added Rubio and the young players took a step up. They also hired Monty Williams and looked like a respectable team during the regular season, especially in the bubble. Also want to add, they were another team with a long playoff drought, 11 years, which was broken last season. They got to that point by winning. It's that simple.
It has been cool for me to be with y'all every day, to watch you guys work and battle and gain the respect of your peers the way you have on this trip. We're not the sons of old. You've been through a lot. You've been through a lot. And it's hard to play the way you play every single night and not get the respect that you deserve. Guess what? You got it. Okay? So I don't care what happens. God knows I hope we get a chance to keep shocking the world, because that's what you did. Nobody believed we'd come here and go 8-0 and beat the teams we beat. But just know, man, this is special. Okay? I want you guys to know that. I don't care what happens, right? This is special. Don't let anybody take this away from you. You gain the respect of the league. Okay? Now we got.
During the 2020 offseason, they added Chris Paul, which took them to another level. The Suns went from a team that looked hopeless to respectable, and the following season in 2021 to the NBA Finals. It just shows you how fast things can change in today's NBA. And I bring all that up to say I think the Kings can have a similar path to this. Obviously, if everything goes right, that is. They don't even need to go out there and win 50 games and get a top 6 seed next season. Just show the league they're not the Kings of old, the same way the Suns did in 2019-2020. After that, maybe they can go out and get their own version of Chris Paul to get to the next level. In conclusion, I'm a lot higher on the Kings' future than consensus, and I think they have a chance to make a lot of noise these next couple seasons. I see De'Aaron Fox having the best season of his career next year. So what do you guys think? Agree? Disagree? Let me know in the comments. Please like, share, subscribe. It helps out the channel. And like I always say, we're called Hoops Convo for a reason. Thanks and take care.
Like whenever our draft process was going on, and obviously after the lottery, you kind of see where teams stack up. I was like, man, I kind of want to go to 5. Like I want to be the 5th and go to the Kings. And for me, it's like just imagine being one of those players that's on a team that hasn't been in the playoffs in over a decade, almost 2 decades, a decade and a half, and then being the team that's being the first team to actually get to the playoffs. I think it's obviously it's hard as hell, especially being in the West. But just being able to be a part of that would definitely be something special. And if we can, end up building a championship contending team, then it's like, man, if you're winning a championship in Sacramento, like that's looked at a lot differently. You probably feel better than you do than with anything else. And I just wanted to be a part of that process. And, you know, for as long as I'm here, however long I'm here, if I'm able to do that, man, I just feel like that's a pretty good career if you're able to do it. So